occupational, academic, and life experiences, that we may be eliminating people who hadn't worked or did not achieve a certain level of education, and we were trying to be as inclusive as possible.
No, I don't think that's at all the case, because the key criteria that you've placed in your own, in the way you've structured the sentence, is you're asking for folks to be able to set aside their personal interests, political opinions, and group allegiances to achieve a broad objective. And so that looking at occupational, academic, and life experiences really are qualifiers, or their pathways to the latter set, which are the most important. That's the way I understood the language as it's put together in any event. If you want to add, see, what your comment would tell me is that you might want to add a whole new subsection 3 then that asks for a broad section of folks that have occupational, academic, or life experiences, which I don't know, seems like another qualifier. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I think I understand your comment. I was just concerned that you didn't want to require people to have a certain level of academic or occupational experience.
No, not at all, because it seems to me the Commission ought to, and I think the policy of statute is pretty clear, the Commission ought to reflect broadly the people of the state of California.
Correct.
I mean, that's a really important part of it. And we know that academics, for example, while they may have a high degree of academic interest in the subject matter of Prop 11, academics themselves are a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the people of the state of California. So looking at this language, it seemed to me partially slanted, at least, to give academics a leg up. You know, at least 1 or 2 academics being put on the Commission, because they could say, well, look, nobody is an academic but me, therefore you should select me, whoever that person would be. And my sense in reading Prop 11 was that we didn't want to give anybody, academic or non, a leg up in the process. Page 2. Page 2, I had a little bit, looking at 60805, difficulty trying to understand what sub 1 and sub 2 meant. It seemed to me that both 1 and 2 had the effect of constricting the definition of the words application for California, appreciation for California's diverse demographics and geography, so that and it just seemed counterintuitive to me. So let me just suggest some wording here and see what you think. In sub 1, so to be clear, it's section 60805, subsection A1, line 1, delete the word sharing, and after the word individuals add the words composed of a wide variety of certain demographic characteristics. That seems to me to be more expansive, and with that change broaden the focus of folks that would be part then of the Commission. The same change then also in 2, subsection A2, line 2, deleting the word distinct and adding in its place the words a wide variety, so that the sentence there reads, an understanding that the people of California reside in many different localities with a wide variety of geographic characteristics, etc. Are these comments consistent with what you're trying to achieve, do you think?
We've actually received a number of comments on this particular regulation, so what we're going to need to do is take them all together and consider them. So at this point, I'm not prepared to answer that question.
Fair enough.
But we will be republishing. If we do amend the regulations, they will be posted on our website again for another 15-day comment period. So.
Very good. And do you show what you do with? Do you create an appendix of all the comments received, and then so that folks can follow what comments were received, and then either by line item, section, or subsection, comments were utilized and which were not?
I don't think we've exactly determined what our format's going to be, but we are going to have all the comments up on our website, and if we have changes, revisions to the regulations, that will be on our website, as well as a statement of reasons for why we're making the changes. So we will be responding to every comment.
But I guess my request, I found it works best in reviewing public comments, is to produce them in an annotated form, so that you not just provide the rationale, but then there's a link to the comments that were made, and people can just follow and track
Sure.
that way. That's helpful, rather than just having a long list. Page 3, and I promise I'm not going to go through every single page. Page 3, looking still at section 60805, it seemed to me that B2, which is the alternative way to, and I think you're trying to quantitatively say what it meant to meet the definition of having an appreciation of California's diverse demographics and geography. Seemed to me that sub 2, that studying, where you say studying the voting behavior of Californians in various areas of the state, goes back to my earlier comment that it seems drafted to ensure that one or more academics are on the commission. And since academics are, again, that fraction of a fraction of a fraction of people in the state of California, I thought those are the only people that might legitimately be able to say that they study the voting behavior, because frankly, who else does that? But a few professors and a few institutions in California. So I just feel that unfairly steers the population of the commission toward that one small group. So my suggestion would be to delete 2. Number 3 and 1 seem to me rather close and restating more or less the same thing. So my suggestion in 1 is after the word a, the third word it on line 1. So I'm looking again at sub B1, working on A, and then add the words non-political project of statewide or local concern. Would be my suggestion to try to make the commission as non-political as possible. Okay. Then I would add a number 4 to that list, and I'm debating about this, but let me just say this for consideration, and that is living in 2 or more counties within the state of California. Trying to seek somebody that has actually lived in different spots or different areas of the state, because we know that by living in different parts of the state, that's the primary way in which we honestly have an appreciation for the differences within the state of California. Going over to page 4, section 60809. I don't know if this is an inconsistency in the Act or not. I think it is. But I'm comparing 60809 with 60812. 60812 lists candidates for congressional, state, and local offices. 60809 merely refers to candidates for federal or state offices. May I ask a question? Is the phraseology in 60809, does that comes right out of Prop 11?
Sorry, the phrase we're defining is out of Prop 11.
Okay.
Of campaign committee of a candidate for elected federal or state office, and we're simply defining that term.
Well, my suggestion would be to add add political committees for local offices. So this language would be a new C. I'm not sure if you can do this, but let me just suggest it. New C to read, as applied to a candidate for local office or any a campaign committee of that candidate is defined in, and I forget the section. I'm sorry, I don't have the section.